All right, welcome everyone to the semi-final, the second one of today. We have had Slug already advancing with a phenomenal performance, 2-0 in the other side of the gold brackets, and today we have Lechtansi and Rayzeus. This is the Mentor Tourney 2024 Gold Sword semi-finals. This is casual boots today. This is a lot of hype around this race. A lot of people are going to tune in today. And today we have our amazing volunteers. We have Old Man Haiku. And we have Zethno and Drossy on comms. We'll waste no time and we'll let you take it away.
Oh, wow. Really wasting no time as the runners are underway here. This is Kaz Boots. I'm Drossy. Glad to be working with you again, Zethno. It's been a while.
Yeah, nice to be here with you as well. We got a nice little full heart right off the bat, so our runner's getting a little bit of safety.
Yeah. Looks like Ray could use a little bit of cropping. But, yeah, so this is game one in a best of three. I have no idea when 2 or potentially 3 would be, but both of these runners have been so dominant so far in the Mentor tournament. Ray effectively undefeated. Lechtansi took 1 loss in the Swiss, but they then swept that runner earlier in brackets, so they're both undefeated in brackets, so one of them will be taking a very rare loss in this race.
Our runners staying pretty close to each other here in the starting. Lechtansi taking a little bit of a bump against one of the enemies, but nothing that should create any long-term issues.
You mean the first person out of escape isn't the automatic winner?
Well, no, Drossy, I'm not sure that'll be the case today. The thing with starting with boots and a sword is that there's not too much to talk about because we know we're going to be able to get into the back room and escape, so it's...
Right. You still hope to find bombs for CAC.
I mean, yeah, getting some sort of bombs is always wonderful, but it's far less impactful when you don't have to worry about having to find a way back into the back of escape later.
Right. You also hope a bit of money shows up for bottle vending.
Yeah. On the other hand, we have 11 and 10 rupees. This Rayzeus has 1 extra rupee. Does that give him an advantage?
Probably killed 1 extra enemy somewhere. Well, without dashing, because if you kill an enemy with a dash, unless they have a, item drop, like a key or whatever, they will not drop anything. Okay, there's
50 rupees. But yeah, no, that comment about the dashing is actually important, especially as this is a restream of the Mentor tournament. That's an easy little thing to accidentally fall into and wonder why nothing is dropping anything for you.
And I was talking with someone recently, I can't remember who, but they were at least moderately experienced, like they weren't brand new by any means, and they didn't know this, so...
Yeah, it's one of those that, like, you don't think about it until all of a sudden you're trying to get rupees to get into something like Pod or getting money for Kiki or something like that, and all of a sudden you're going, why do none of these enemies drop anything? And then later you find out after the race that's because you're dashing.
Lechtansi needs to watch their health, already down to 1.5 hearts.
Yeah, I think once we get into the next door, though, we're going to be safe, and I don't foresee a death before that.
Yeah. And now that we're past the guards, most of the enemies in the sewers do less damage.
It's really the ropes that are the problem, right?
Because the rat
Rayzeus is going into right now. That room can be unfortunate, but if you have boots, it's not really that bad. But if you're going in there without boots or a sword, you can take a lot of damage in this room.
Yeah, just a piece of heart for our trouble. But yeah, the rats and the bats do very little damage. The ropes do a bit more. And Lek is down to oof,
Oh,
half a heart, as we were saying about those ropes doing damage.
Yeah, they're really not nice. Generally, you can kind of stay away from them, except for that one room, especially if you have boots and a sword. But there's always that one case you kind of move a little bit wrong, and it can kind of hurt.
That was kind of interesting. Ray got the key dash despite being misaligned.
I missed it because I was watching Lechtansi, but
Yeah, it was enough to unlock the door without bonking, but he then had to shift over quite a bit to actually go through the door.
huh. Interesting. We did find some bombs in the end. We have 3 bombs per runner. Rayzeus still sitting with a 1 rupee lead.
And Lechtansi did get some hearts in the back of escape, so fewer heart palpitations now.
We do have over 100 rupees now, though, coming out of it. We do have 2 crystals on Eastern and Desert with a pendant on Tower of Hera. But we are going into CAC with 100 rupees, which is always nice, as you mentioned earlier, for that bottle.
Yeah. Oh, as Ray
that
digs
one
up a
guard
couple
being
more.
really mean to Rayzeus. Sorry, I think we were.
Whoa! That's a
Same
nice
time
little prize,
Oh.
early hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, and if we could get the boots and sword marked. Always the easy thing to forget about in Kaz boots because the runners never collect them, they start with them. And the bush
And the
crab,
crab gets us arrows. Not helpful.
Well, we'll need a bow eventually for Eastern. More arrows on Lumberjack.
Yeah, but arrows at this point in the game without a bow is not really what Rayzeus was looking for when that bush was lifted.
Yeah. Well, now... Oh, more arrows! What do you
More
know?
arrows. Game, we don't want those.
Oof, and Rayzeus just dug up a green guard who was not happy to be dug up.
I think it's the second guard that's gotten in his way in the forest. The guards are just like, no, you're a few seconds ahead. We want to even up this game. We're just going to knock you back a little bit here. Thanks. Okay, into CAC. No real differences between the runners. Few second lead here for Rayzeus, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll get...
Did Lech
There's
check
a
the
lot
map
of
yet?
opportunities for that to even up, right?
Has Lech done a map check yet?
I'm not sure.
I'm just thinking that part of how it got close was Ray checked the map. So...
Yeah, Ray also got bodied by that one,
Right.
by that one guard. That not the one he dug up, but the other one that just decided to completely block him for a good few seconds, which didn't help either.
So, Florence Hut was a bit of money, but basically junk.
Yeah, I mean we have the hammer, which is nice, that we can use. And there's
Sword.
another sword.
That's nice.
It's a nice little bit of.
And hook shot. Wow.
I didn't. I was gonna be like, I did not see what was in there. Okay, hook shot.
Yeah, hook shot and master sword. That was a nice cackwell, even if the rest of it wasn't much. Actually, the rest of it did give us another.
There were 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
early magic
You were getting
cackway.
there.
Not too often the game gives you magic bat available your first time through CAC.
Yeah, that's a good point. How often do you do that on your first sweep through?
Hopefully both runners remember, because if the game's handing it to you on a silver platter like that, you'd better do it now.
Yeah, that puts it in Sphere too. It makes it a pretty early available check, so.
And the lamp. Aga in logic.
Oh god, you're right. I was gonna say, these runners, it's nice, it's the mentor tournament, it's nice to have that extra lamp, but oh my, that is Aga access, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we're gonna
That's
wanna
not something you want to see before you
Ooh,
get out of
Lechtansi is skipping Magic Bat despite having the items for it.
And what is it? It is a
Oh. Trolley game,
Arrows.
very funny.
The skip pays off, although I'm not sure the skip was a good idea, but the skip pays off.
What was that? Just a big 20 on race game?
I'm just double checking right now. Yeah, it was 20. Well, so in that, Lechtansi takes a slight lead.
Yeah, doing our standard South Shore routing here.
Rayzeus pausing the screen in a much nicer place for us and for the tracker to actually see what item is there.
Okay, what do we have in the flooded spot? More money.
We are very close to Zora money in a
Yeah.
place where you kind of want to have Zora money. So if they can pick up just an extra about 15 to 20 rupees, it would be really nice because they can do Zora with any fake flipper checks they might want to do out of here.
Yeah. Zora not in logic, and Flake Flipper's always a little bit risky when you don't have the Moon Pearl, in case you get knocked out of it in Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, true. But
Okay, Zora in
it
logic.
opens up some options, right? And there's a glove and a bottle in Mini Molder.
Yeah, so now you do want to probably route in Zora because it's in logic. And this is kind of your opportunity to do it.
As mentioned, gives you options. The nice thing about Boots is that it's relatively easy to set up a water walk out of here.
We're really close on the rupee count now. Ray's only up by 1.
They've been one off, I think, pretty much since sometime in Escape. I'm not sure which enemy gave Ray the extra 1 heart, and Ray's got to be a little bit careful here at the 1.5 hearts, because these crabs do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, Oko with the crabs, so get them before they get you. And both runners farming under this rock to get 20 rupees to put them over the Zora threshold.
A better comment is that there was a bow in Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, well, how about that? Guess we can do Eastern.
And
So the
there's a
lamp
check.
could be for Eastern, not for Aga, for all we know, because we're Moon Pearl away from never needing to think about Aga.
Yeah, I do think we're going to see a water walk from both our runners here. We have the money for Zora. We have a glove. We're in the area. We have boots to make this a nice and fast running check. Was that 300 rupees on the island?
I missed it. We'll see from Ray.
I believe it was 300 rupees on the island, so
Yeah, okay.
we're not going to come back for that.
Another 50, so we didn't need to farm under the rock for all that.
Yeah, but that was a good choice on both our runners. I agree with you, but that was a very good choice.
Oh, yeah,
for our
and we
runners.
will need pod money in any case, or most likely. I guess it could be appended to maybe we never touch it, but chances are we'll need pod money.
Agreed. But you never want to leave it to chance. Get all the way up here and then find out that, oops, I don't have enough money to get the fire rod from Zora.
Wow. I also realized we have all of White Death Mountain in Logic too. And yeah, as you were saying, that money is good. Well spent. Not a scam today.
100% no. I would spend 500 rupees to get a fire rod in any seed I ever play. That is a very important item. And even if just for the damage, although we do have some decent damage output items already. Lechtansi heading over to Saha's closet. We're going to pick up some bombs, some rupees, and a bottle. I think we have 2 fairies in a bottle now, though, so if you ever see a runner about to die, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, right. Both bottles so far. You don't see that very often.
No, maybe the game knew it was a mentor tournament race and decided to give our runners a bit of a break if they need it. It's one of those things I was always really happy to see when I was learning the game, and then after a while it was like, you know what, these things are actually a little annoying, because every time I want to death warp, they accidentally revive me and kill a bunch of time.
Yeah.
You're doing a death warp, make sure to release your fairies before you
And if you have multiple fairies, all the more so.
Yeah. That's always fun in a race where you see somebody accidentally get revived by a fairy, and then later then they die again, and it happens a second time. If you play this game enough, it'll happen to you at some point, and it's just a frustrating moment.
If you play this game enough, anything that can happen will happen.
Yeah. Agreed with that. Get a nice big key here early. What was the first item here? I kind of missed it.
Shield.
So we have one of the items that are here.
Yeah. And I'm sure everyone's happy to see that shield.
Just adding a little bit of lag. Or did we fix that?
Yeah, in Fast ROM, that's not an issue.
Oh, okay. Like, I couldn't remember if that got fixed or not.
Well,
I'm just blanking on it in the moment.
basically, lag is very little of an issue in Fast ROM. Even silvers don't give that much lag.
Oh, well, that's always nice to have.
Okay, we have the God Eastern here. All 3 items and the big key. So we know we don't need to do the right side.
That's actually exactly what I was trying to track when I asked what the first item was. So, yeah. Nice. No 50-50, no guesses. Just go straight to the back, end this, and leave the map and or the compass behind. Once again, our runners are kind of following the same path, so we're just a little behind each other. Rayzeus, of course, with the advantage by being 1 rupee ahead, and Lechtansi ahead because they are 1 room ahead of Rayzeus.
Right.
1 room versus 1 rupee. Who wins?
Yeah, we're almost at pod money. Well, if Ray just picks that up, which he's not going to.
Oh no! Ray is now behind in rupees. Lechtansi taking the rupee lead for the first time all game and getting the first boss kill.
But I think we need to take a mountain trip now. There's a lot of stuff available now.
I 100% agree with you. And I just want to be clear that I'm joking about the rupee. But yeah, there are a lot of items up on the mountain that we can see at this point. We're starting to run out of things in kind of the lower part of the world, and no, these runners don't want to do Aga. In before the Moon Pearl is at Agina. Which would be a frustrating thing for these runners. We're going up the mountain. Both runners are going to come through the cave, pick up the old man. Let's see what the old man gives us for leading him through the cave. As you walk out of this cave,
Yeah.
always forget, avoid the falling rocks.
Well, it doesn't help that the old man stops to give you an item with the rocks falling all around.
Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, here, hold here for a second while I give you this 1 rupee and a rock falls on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, old man.
You'd think Link would be like, couldn't we take this discussion indoors?
You'd think the old man who lives up here would also know we should take this indoors. We did just see the Cane of Burna on top of the ledge. Inaccessible right now, but nice to know there's an invulnerability item if we absolutely need it.
Yeah. Honestly, with how this routing is going, I wonder if it would have been better to save Spec Rock Cave for last and just hop down after you make it to Hera. Probably depends on your risk tolerance.
Yeah, could be. Depends on what you find there and what's in that cave, but yeah, that's definitely an option.
Oh.
And there's the mirror, so we can pick up that Burna. And the mids.
So, and a shovel, and the boots, which we already have. But yeah, so now we're gonna do Dark Death Mountain in here as well, and we have a lot of flexibility for movement.
Only thing we gotta keep in mind is the lack of the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, well, you kind of hope that's somewhere, right? So, we can't actually do Hookshot Cave unless you want a mirror clip into it, but we can do Super Bunny Cave. That's why it's called Super Bunny.
Oh yeah, definitely something that while you're over here, if you have it and you got that mirror early, it's definitely something we can do. We can also grab that Burna if we would like. Looks like Lechtansi is going to do exactly that.
And Ray is down to 1 heart. Don't know when that happened, but that doesn't make me totally comfortable.
I mean, where we are, that's a relatively safe place to be down to 1
Oh,
heart.
right. We have 2 fairies. Never mind.
Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. just where we are on the map, there's just very little likelihood that we're going to die here, so I wasn't too worried about that. But yeah, we have 2 fairies.
and
a flute. And gets sniped.
So
we're just gonna say, look, Rayzeus was just going for the health reset, okay?
So Zethno, that flute does raise the interesting possibility of Moon Pearl in like checkerboard or something.
Oh, you're trying to give these runners a bad time.
Well, I mean, we have mitts and flute and mirror.
Hold on. Where's
yeah, divergence.
What are we doing here?
Lechtansi wanted the second item out of Pendant Hera. They got it. It was a heart container.
Oh, so Rayzeus has just decided to leave that item behind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big risk to take right here, I think.
Ooh, half magic, nice. And Ray is out, and Lechtansi is dead-rocked.
Would you ditch Hera in that circumstance?
I think it's a defensible play. You know, from a logical standpoint, the big key is vanilla, and no one wants to do their coffee break if they don't have to. So that already makes it a 1 in 3 chance that the second item is in the big chest, and oh, the Moon Pearl was just sitting in King's Tomb. We good. Looks like Lechtansi is heading there too. Rayzeus gonna activate the flute, and then we'll see where he wants to start his Dark World exploration.
In the end, leaving Hera early was the right choice for this particular seed. Just an interesting, taking a risk there that did pay off.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I say, the flip side is you do it and it's the 1 in 3 chance that the second item's in the big chest, and then do you want to do the whole coffee break?
Yeah, I mean, checking the items outside of the big chest is a relatively quick check, as we saw from Lechtansi. There really wasn't a change in like a huge change in time there, and they now do know that there is nothing left in that dungeon, and unless for some reason they need to get the ped, they can just ignore that. And it is nice as a runner just to know I can check off this dungeon and never come back.
Hey, there's our third bottle sitting on Desert Ledge. Don't think we're doing that. Ray has not checked the shovel yet. We'll see if Lechtansi does.
Is Lechtansi gonna check the bat?
Okay, so our 5-6 are Swamp and Pod. Ice is the green pendant, and Thieves is our remaining pendant.
Lechtansi is gonna go check the bat, remembering that it's there. We know this is nothing, but that's gonna give a little bit of time back to Rayzeus, who checked this earlier.
And Meyer sheds nothing. But since you're here, you at least have to do the front of Desert, and I did not see if we even checked Meyer Medallion. If it went into Rayzeus's frame, it didn't go into ours.
Oh, I was watching the wrong runner in that moment.
5 and 6 were 5 and 6 were Swamp and Pod, by the way.
As I was gonna say, that's when I normally turn to our tracker and hope that they caught it. And thank you to Old Man Haiku, who is tracking for us today and in chat.
Yeah, well, let's see if Lechtansi gives us a look at Meyer Medallion that we can actually see. Okay, so map just has to have the small key. Then we go right side, which will have to have at least one item, maybe both.
It was Quake, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pendant Thieves Town, definitely something we're going to do the front of anyway.
Yeah, you basically treat the front as overworld, and then, based on how many items you get, you have to think about, do I really want to do the back?
Never want to do the back, but...
We get a blue mail out of Desert, and that's both items, so we can put off Landmo until we come back here to do Meyer. But looks like Ray is just gonna knock out Landmo anyway. Okay.
I mean, we have the items for it.
Yeah, Fire Rod and Half Magic, not bad.
Yeah. Worst case, we have a Master Sword and a hammer, too. Like, it's not like we have any shortage of...
Yeah, let's see. So Pod is full clearable. Swamp, we're missing Flippers. Skull Woods is clearable. And then we need some medallions and Samaria and Ice Rod.
And here's boss fight number 2. The seed.
So nice with half magic.
Very good fight. Yeah, that's but even in addition to just half magic, that was just nice. Every single worm, 2 hits, in and out. Lechtansi gonna go grab that as well. Rayzeus looks in the checkerboard cave, finds 5 rupees, does not go for it.
And then
Dodges
realizes,
stuff.
oh, should check a Gina while I'm here.
Well, that was the whole thing I said earlier. Well, like, watch Moon Pearl be in here, but unfortunately we found Moon Pearl already.
But I feel like after this you flute to 5 and clean out Pod. Maybe you do Hype Cave first.
Yeah, I mean, either Pod or Hype Cave or high density locations at this point. We're back on the mountain for Rayzeus, though.
Oh, just because he wanted the health refill.
For the heal.
And yep, there's the
Yeah,
flute
that makes
to
sense. I should have thought of that.
5. So, Pod to... Yeah, this could work. Pod to Pyramid to Catfish. Hookshot over, then you get the annoying Graveyard Ledge check out of the way on your way over to Village.
Yeah, it just kind of leaves Hype Cave towards the end, so...
Yeah, you're basically planning to make a full counterclockwise circuit of Dark World.
You're just kind of hoping that Hype Cave is not true to its name at that point.
Or else that it has a medallion that you're gonna need eventually but aren't too concerned with it. Or Samaria, for that matter. We're not immediately concerned with medallions or Samaria because there are so many other crystal dungeons we can be doing.
Very true.
Even Flippers isn't the worst thing in Hype Cave because Swamp's right there.
Yeah. Rayzeus playing a little bit of a dance with a block right there. Our runners are kind of on the same track here. Lechtansi just following Rayzeus. Our runners are giving each other the slight lead by skipping or ignoring 1 or 2 checks here and there and giving it back to each other, but in general, our runners are on the same track.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Pod's a 5/6 and has 5 items.
I agree with you and I agree with them. It's just all the way through, we're just kind of following the exact same linear path.
Maybe one of them does Catfish and the other skips it.
Maybe?
Was Gamachua mentoring this tournament? I know he often
I'm not
is.
sure.
Did Gamachu mentor either of these runners to skip Catfish under all circumstances? So our 2 non-small key items in the front of Pod are just the big key in the map. So all the items are in the back. See, now... This is where you can kind of tell the difference between mentor tournament level runners and like the really top tier runners, because a top tier runner would rush the boss at this point because the big key was in the front and see if they can maybe isolate the compass and skip 1 check in the back.
That's fair.
But that's like a pretty advanced strat.
Depending on what it is and where it is, that may or may not save a meaningful amount of time as well.
Yeah, also interesting. Oh, well, there's the compass. See, so, I guess
We
if
probably
you...
would have ended up picking that up based on
Yeah.
what the compass is anyway.
It's also an interesting choice to do the hammer yump there when you have the mirror anyway. There's a cape, so we can do bumper ledge if it has anything on it.
We're gonna have to check Harmless Hellway, I believe, because there should be an item there.
Yep.
Not an important item, but it is.
No. Lechtansi taking the same route. And yeah, no Samaria, so we actually have to push the statue like they do in vanilla.
Lechtansi taking a fall with hammering up. Slightly off on the positioning. Yeah, at this point, I think this is a time loss rather than just having done it normally. We got Rayzeus heading towards the back. As to a question in chat, like, doing the hammer yum does allow you to kind of go through that in one direction only. If you get it the first time and then you just go through it, it kind of is, I believe, still a little bit faster. But once you fail it, or if you take too many pauses, get into position, it starts getting iffy in that particular situation as to whether it's a time save. And yeah, as mentioned, like if you do it and you go through that room, you end up going into Harmless Hellway, and you can just drop right into the back. Like it's a nice route, but the moment you start falling into the pit, you're starting to take a lot of time loss that may no longer make it worth it. I didn't even see the item on the boss. Or there wasn't one. Oh, there was.
It was an item. I think it was junk. I didn't even register to me what it was.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be an item there, because that's why we did Harmless Hellway, because there were 2 items left.
And
But,
Ray saved and quit for all that rather than cleaning up some overworld checks. He's going straight for the back of Skull Woods.
Interesting choice. This is definitely a reasonable thing to have done. It'll be interesting to see if that turns into anything, if Lechtansi maybe shows a little bit of divergence and does some of the overworld checks. We could see an advantage appear for one of our runners.
And to chat, ooh, there's the book. Now that's an interesting item. We can check Ped as soon as we beat Moth. But to chat saying the pod was empty, it did have the cape, and Bumper Ledge could have something. So that's our only chance for... Well, and it's one of our 5-6 crystals. So those are our only chances for progression out of pod. But hey, we do have 3 crystals down. And yeah, I guess the tracker's eating inputs. Both runners did beat Eastern.
Yeah, I guess the cape's really only helpful for Bumper Ledge because we already have King of Burna.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We're getting another boss fight on Lechtansi's side now. That arrow just slightly missing the mark, but oop. Few arrows a little bit
Yeah.
off, and there's a
You got enough
Now we're on the
arrows
moth
at
fight.
least.
We're on Master Sword, so we're allowed to spin without any problems. Increasing our damage. Kind of what I meant.
Right. Not a bad fight.
Yep.
Especially with Master Sword. For the compass, so one item still outstanding.
Oh, I'm glad you were counting. I was looking at the wrong screen for that.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
So you go back in for bridge chest, then you check ped, then you do the front. Once again, our runners have very... Oh no, Lechtansi is going to the village, not to Skullwoods.
A little bit of divergence. We did get a key under the bridge.
Oh.
Oh, we are not checking ped.
Wow. Despite the fact that ped is flippers away from being in logic. And, well, the cape doesn't get us anything because Bumper Ledge was just a heart container.
Yeah, but I'm agreeing with you there. Like, if you're at that entrance and you have mirror and you have book, check what's on ped.
Yeah, especially when we're still enough items away from go mode and only one of those items can't be on ped. Samaria could be on ped. Our Meyer or TR medallions could be. Ice Rod could be.
Just to clarify, Lechtansi did go back to Skullwoods.
And this is our last clearable crystal dungeon.
That fulfills our condition of clearing crystal dungeons, then.
Yep, so now it's overworld checks and pendant dungeons.
And this is where I think we might be able to see some divergence between our runners, because there's no longer a straight, hey, I should just complete this dungeon because I can do it.
Yeah, so Ray's gonna check Bumper Ledge because he has that cape too. Neither runner has checked Shovel yet. Wonder if Ray
We can
will
check
go
that when we
over-
go back around, though, right? Like, we can check that when we do the Smith chain.
Okay, neither runner went over to check Graveyard Ledge. So that's now isolated because, of course, we already did King's Tomb. That's what had our Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's extremely isolated now. We've checked Bumper Ledge, we've done Skullwoods, we've done all of the North checks in Light World. There's really kind of no reason to go back up there except Graveyard Ledge. So I don't foresee either runner checking that until absolutely necessary at this point. Has our last go mode item that we're looking for, but that's... Ice Rod will be there, right? Because Ice Rod always likes sitting in lovely positions. Lechtansi going into the back of Skull Woods, while Rayzeus going into the front of Thieves Down. Picks up the big key right off the bat. Be clear, there's no bat. What else do we have in here? Actually missed one of the chests. What was the other chest?
Oh.
It was a big key, a small key, a heart, and what was the fourth chest in Thieves Town?
I missed it too. Yeah, big key, small key, heart,
and something.
Certainly getting a lot of health this seed.
Oh, map.
Oh, so only a one item front. Damn.
Thank you to our
That's
tracker.
not great.
Lechtansi going with a fire rod strat for Moth, definitely one of my preferred strats, especially when you have half magic. It's just a lot easier.
And I imagine Ray will do Smith Chain if he's down here because he does have the mirror.
We're doing digging game.
Right, because
rupees.
you can't do dig game with a follower, so you do that before Smith Chain.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to mention, especially
Ooh,
during
ped
the
check!
tournament. Ooh. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a moment.
Just a shield.
It's a shield. Ah. Well, Rayzeus getting bailed out of not checking that.
Yeah, he hasn't been punished for his skips so far, at least the skips he's done that Lechtansi hasn't done. Maybe they'll both be punished for skipping Graveyard Ledge, who knows?
To answer a question in chat, we've actually already done Magic Bat on both runners.
It was junk.
But yeah, it's an important thing to mention, especially during the Mentor tournament, that, yeah, you cannot do dig game when you have a follower. It trips up new runners all the time because you think you can, but because you don't actually visually have a follower during that, but according to the game, you actually have one, so you can't do it while anyone's following.
Well, Smiths are junk, but we'll get the purple chest and have it follow us to Cave 35 and Stumpy and Dig Spot and...
Yeah, we get to show the purple chest the world.
Yeah.
Rayzeus showing some nice hookshot dash strats. If you try to dash with the purple chest, you will leave it behind, but if you can hookshot before, you do have a few frames where the game will let you dash.
Yeah, you can definitely see why these runners are at the top of the map, of the Golden Sword bracket of the Mentor tournament. That's what I was trying to say. As we get Tempered Sword.
We just got a Tempered Sword. But yeah, that is that strat is, once you know how to do it, it's pretty consistent, but it's a little bit trickier to just get the hang of than it actually looks at first glance. I assume we're going to get a shovel check right here. This is what I was talking about earlier.
I would be screaming if we didn't do a shovel check here.
Right, but when you were saying neither runner had done it yet, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a Smith chain soon, so we should see it as part of this.
Okay, so Ray is leaving the purple chest behind, going to do Vanishing Chest. Now, we still haven't seen Hype Cave, so it looks like he's gonna do purple chest and Bombos, then double back to Hype Cave. If you're doing that, you should then continue on to Pyramid and Catfish, unless you get some progression.
Yeah, we can also... Oh no, Ice is a pendant. I was going to say we can also do Ice, but it's a pendant. But yeah.
Yeah, out of logic pendant dungeons aren't generally a preferred approach.
Yeah, in general, yes, but there are a lot of exceptions to that rule where they make sense, especially for the dense dungeons, if you can get into them.
Ooh, hello, Ice Rod on Bombos, okay. That's a nasty item out of the way.
I agree with you.
Because all the other things we need for Go Mode are locking entire dungeons. Ice Rod locks one boss.
No, 100%.
Now, you kind of want Samari to show up before you start getting medallions. Because otherwise...
Samari would be nice before we have to get into... Actually, I mean, here's the thing. We actually kind of need Samaria to finish either of the last two of the last 3 dungeons, sorry.
Right, so you're hoping you don't have to go into Mire without Samaria. But for the moment, we still don't have... progression. There was Bombos in the back of Thieves. That could be interesting if that's our TR medallion.
Yeah, so I totally didn't watch Lechtansi for a little bit there, which is oops. But I was so
I didn't see
in
what was in the
Ray
attic,
was showing
admittedly,
us.
but
Ray was just showing so many new things. But yeah, Hype Cave was not hyped, so delaying that was perfectly fine in this.
Yeah, but in that
siege.
case, if you're not planning to then go to Pyramid, I would have done Hype before turning in Purple Chest, so that you can just not have to run all the way back from Bombos.
Yeah, but like, what if you found flippers there or something? Then you'd be coming all the way back anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of an edge case.
Right, or if you found something else that lets you go through there, there's a few small. Meanwhile, Lechtansi gonna fight blind, not
Yeah.
on script.
Who has
but does
an
get the
item?
fight.
Oh, junk item, but an item.
When you have this many hearts, the script is a little bit less important than it would be in other circumstances.
I'm kind of surprised. Oh, right. Ray still doesn't have any medallions, so there's no real point in opening TR Portal. Though we will find out in this trip whether that Bombos and Blind Cell is going to be needed this seed. Lechtansi also remembering to not rescue the Smith until you've already taken care of Dig Game.
Meanwhile, Ray on the mountain.
Gonna check the medallion requirement before doing Shock Cave. It is Ether, so Ray again not punished for something Lechtansi did more thoroughly.
So we need both Ether and Quake, and we have neither. Great, thanks, game. And flippers.
Okay.
In Hookshaw Cave.
Time to do Swamp. Silvers!
And silvers in Hookshaw Cave. Can we just call this Hype Cave this time?
It's a lot more hype than Hype Cave was.
Flippers, silvers, I'll take that any day.
Okay, looks like we're gonna do Spike Cave now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up here.
Yeah, we almost have enough hearts to just cheese it, but we have both invincibility items too, so this is not going to be an issue. And Swamp is also our other 5/6, so we can combo Swamp into Pyramid Fairy.
And rupees. Spike Cave. As kind of expected, Ray gonna go in a swamp. You get flippers at this point, and it's your completable crystal. Just go in and do it, right? Fonzie gonna pick up that third sword. And complete the rest of the loop.
Which we know will only produce Ice Rod. Which we need.
We do need, but will not provide a lot of assistance. Lechtansi leaving the piece of heart behind at this point with blue mail and that many hearts. It's probably fine.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
13 heart blue mail is perfectly safe.
Okay, now Let's count items in Swamp Palace, see if we...
We just clipped through a rail on Ray's side.
Oh, yeah, Specky Clip. You've been not around much, but you have heard of Specky Clip, yes?
Oh yeah, I know how to do that one. That
Okay, cool.
that was an easy one to learn.
Yeah, it's amazing because between the time Specs discovered it and, like, the next morning, people found, like, the easiest implementations of it.
People just started throwing bombs everywhere, I think. Where was the easiest location to drop that?
Okay, the
and
map
it turned out that that was actually really easy to do.
The map and compass chest means we are guaranteed at least one item on the left side, and being 3 items from Go Mode, I'm a little bit surprised Ray didn't just rush the left side, but I'm assuming he'll go back in. Well, then again, given the skips he's been making... 2 items left side.
Yeah, I think we go back. Well, the other thing is that I don't think.
Oh,
Um,
hello, Ether.
I don't think he had the big key yet, right? So,
Right.
If from a risk reduction perspective, if he's coming back in anyway, he could just do them all at the same time.
True, if the boss has the big key.
Right. That way, he just knows he only has to go through that again once because he needs the big key at some point.
Yeah. The big key could also be locking itself.
Very true, but I do kind of understand that from that perspective. If I'm
Misfire.
gonna come back in anyway, I'll just do it all when I come back in.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lechtansi on the mountain, so he'll get his flippers and silvers and all that fun stuff.
First arrow misses, second arrow misses.
Third time's the
arrow
charm.
hits. There we go.
He's not channeling his inner CJ, at least. CJ famously, during a mentor tournament of yore, took 19 shots to finally land a silver hit on the second phase of Argus.
Not sure if taken 19, but I've had my fair share of misses on Argus. Argus likes to fly around that room very quickly, and the bow is not exactly the most responsive of weapons for fast-moving enemies until you get the hang of it. That delay is a little annoying at times. Oh, we need the small key.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
it saves you having to get the pot key on the left.
Yeah.
And it lets you just rush into the switch room over here.
That makes sense. It lets you basically do the skip on the left side, the diver down strat, without having to get that, even though you're coming back in the second time. That's actually a great little advantage of that clip. To answer a question in chat, Meyer Medallion is Ether, and
other way around.
Medallion is Quake. Quake?
Meyer Medallion is
Other way
Quake,
around.
TR Medallion
Meyer's
is Ether.
Quake, and TR is Ether. I don't think we have them marked right now on the stream. In the end, we need both Ether and Quake.
But not the bomb boast that Lechtansi got out of the back of Thieves Town.
Correct. But we did get Ether, so that's nice. But that Ether is not particularly helpful considering it opens up Turtle Rock. In that we don't have Samaria yet.
There's the big key on the left side, so now we have to go back to the big chest. You were saying about Maria.
Yeah, thanks, game.
The problem is, Quake is probably sitting in TR now, but you should still do Big Bomb after this.
Yeah, but, you know, at least we have the clear of TR now, and we're not trying to figure out where on Earth Samaria is hiding.
Otherwise, Quake is in Graveyard Ledge, just to punish the runners who are skipping it.
If it's there. We'll finally have a punish from the runner skipping something. It doesn't matter what these runners have skipped this race. It's just this game's been like, no, there's nothing on that check. That's okay. You can skip that particular location. Both runners trying to gain a little bit of an advantage here and there, I think. With skipping and trying to get a little bit of time back in. Just they're both trading
Oh,
that time.
geez, Ray did not want to do... This is kind of risky, because what if Quake really is in Pyramid Fairy, or on the pyramid even? We haven't even checked the item sitting in plain sight on the pyramid.
Look, this seed hasn't punished our runners. There will be no punish. It's going to be in TR, and we're going to be done. There's no such thing as a punish in this seed.
Yeah, and it's not like any of these plays have been clown plays, it's just Ray has made some fairly aggressive plays.
Yeah, like, you're right. I don't mean in a way that they've made bad skips.
Yeah,
or bad
no, I mean,
decisions.
I'm
They're taking risky plays in skipping things to try to gain an advantage, and they're just all paying off.
But it only takes one play not paying off.
Yes, very much. And then rando be rando, and you can lose a game from one bad skip.
But like,
But you
what
can
if
also win. You can also win the game with one good skip. So
what if this is a totally go-modable TR with all the keys up front,
yeah,
and Quake is
and-
somewhere else?
yeah.
So
All right,
Lechtansi
though.
also doing back of swamp before left side.
I like this decision.
Even though it doesn't pay off.
Correct. A lot of plays that feel right or are right in this game don't always pay off. Lechtansi doing the left side bomb.
Oh, well, we get two smalls right there in the front of TR. That's already nice for a hypothetical runner go moding TR. And there's Lechtansi's Ether.
We're still not finding any items here in Turtle Rock yet.
What do you mean we found a piece of heart? If you mean useful items, we're running out of useful items that we could find.
I think I missed the one heart.
Oh, it was in Compass Chest. There's the big key.
And there's a missed arrow, second missed arrow, third time's a charm. Both runners getting Argus on the third arrow.
Yay!
Out here. Hey, look, fairies.
Hey, that early powder is worth something.
I think that means we now have 3 fair. Oh no, wait, did Ray die? I think Ray died once, or did Lechtansi die once?
I can't
Somebody-
remember at this point.
Somebody used one.
I think it was Ray.
it
Ooh,
might
the
have been
single
Ray.
arrow!
Well, that's gonna help. Hey, there's one of the 3 arrows we used on Argus that missed.
So Lechtansi will get his Samaria here, so I'm wondering what he's gonna do next. Is he also gonna be aggro about the mountain, or is he gonna do the big bomb? Excuse me, they.
Yeah. I didn't even catch that until you corrected it. But But
Well, if Lechtansi is listening to this back, at least I apologized.
Yep. Ray not having a good time with the mimics. Mimics not mimicking in the way intended.
Yeah, Mimic Cave is junk.
Come on, mimics, do as I say, not as I do. Come on. Still not getting what we want out of Turtle Rock.
Well, we do need the small keys since we went to Lava Chest. And-
Yeah, but that's not something I'd want to leave behind here, because you leave that behind and you find Quake in that later. It's going to be one heck of a time loss.
Sure, I'm just saying. So there's no small key on Laser Bridge, though, so that means that if Lechtansi does find Quake, they can make up some time go moding TR.
Well, let's see if Quake is sitting here. Gonna have to give it a few seconds till that.
And then let's see what Lechtansi does now. They're dashing out, which... Oh, no, they're mirroring. So they are not doing the big red bomb. Are they also going to aggro play the mountain? Yes, they are.
We're doing a Burna check for Laser Bridge.
I'm just... It's like... You have 3 really quick checks. TR, yeah, it's a crystal, but it's a long way to get there. And it takes a while to get the 6 items.
Flippers on Lex side there, haiku.
Oh yeah, they both did Hookshot Cave. And it would have been hard for Lechtansi to have done, you know, Swamp without the flippers.
Yeah, that causes some issues. We did get some ice on the floor here in the TR fight.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a lot of health.
Yeah, Trinix getting away from Ray, but half magic and 15 hearts blue mail, you're not too worried.
Yeah, this is not the problematic Trinix where you have 4 hearts and Master Sword.
Ooh, mushrooms. So jury's still out as to whether this was a waste of time or not.
Well, it's not a waste of time because we definitely needed the crystal.
Laser Bridge was a waste of time if the mushroom's nothing. Because if mushroom doesn't lead to Quake, then we could have come here in go mode and skipped Laser Bridge. Ooh, is Ray now gonna do Hera? Ray is going back for that item he orphaned in Hera because I don't see what else he could be going for over here.
Yeah, and see, that's what I was talking about earlier, if that's what it is, because this is going to take longer than having just checked it while he was here earlier.
But it is just sitting in Compass Chest, so as soon as he Hera pots, he'll be fine.
Yep. But he did have to run all the way back. And that does take up some time, right?
Yeah, it definitely ate a bit of time, but he still has the lead on Lechtansi. It just is a matter of, like, does he do Back of Thieves Town? That gives a lot of time back. Oh. He never checked Ped, so now he's going to beat Moldorm just in case this is a Ped seed. Because he doesn't know it's not.
That'll eat a bit of time. Yeah.
Again, I don't know why he didn't check Ped when he was right there.
Yeah, it wasn't out of the way. Like, generally, yeah, I get not checking Ped, because Ped is not in a friendly location to check the majority of the time.
But as you said, you beat Moth, you have Mirror and Book on you, you check Ped.
Yeah, you're right there. That takes a few seconds. Now, both runners have a pendant boss, though. Different pendant bosses. Pendant bosses.
Okay, where are we fluting to, Ray? Okay, this has to be the big bomb play.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because you have Pyramid Ledge at the same time. You can take that up to Catfish and clear up another out of the way location. Yeah, this all makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if this is here, then both runners can feel silly. Okay, not on Pyramid Ledge.
That makes it feel a lot less silly. If it was there, that would have been really awkward. Okay,
Red
so we go
mail
up to
and red
Catfish.
coin.
After Catfish, do we just go over to Graveyard Ledge? Because it's the
I
closest we're
sure-
gonna be.
I sure hope so.
Right? Like, that's the closest we're gonna be for the rest of the game.
Oh no. What
Wait,
is Ray?
What direction are we going in? And
Oh,
why?
Hobo! We never did Hobo.
Oh, yeah, okay. I
We
think
didn't even
neither
talk
runner
about
did
that.
it.
Correct, because they had the Water Walk and they didn't have the Moon Pearl. Oh no, Lechtansi got locked. You can get out of this, but it is tough. Like, I've seen Relkin do it, but even a runner of Relkin's caliber, it is tough. You have to kick it, you can't just throw it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a kick that you gotta do? It goes a little bit farther.
Oof, he's there. Mirroring, but at least we did take that door, so it's not a huge time loss. Still unfortunate.
Okay. On the other hand, on Ray's side, we are doing Catfish now.
Mushroom turning.
Yeah. Mushroom into Catfish, probably in a Graveyard Ledge, like...
Ray doesn't know about the setup of where you can mirror bonk and save yourself time with the mushroom turn-in. You
yeah.
swipe the bush to the north, and then you can immediately mirror bonk. But now he's gonna mirror bonk, and he doesn't want to.
Yeah, should have done that the first time.
Yeah, I think he got his times mixed up.
That's okay. Ray does have a bit of a lead here.
Yeah. If it's not Catfish or Graveyard Ledge, then we know it must be Ice Palace or Saha. Because I think we've seen everything else.
Yes? Question mark? Oh,
Hey,
there it is.
Vanilla Catfish! I think we need to have some words with the runners about not giving Catfish the respect he deserved right out of pod. Could have saved a lot of time in TR there.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, like, Catfish is just out of the way. Catfish is always out of the way. And I kind of see the play to just leave it behind and hope the other runner wastes a bunch of time going there.
Ray does remember that Quake will not harm a Murderdactyl, so he takes out the Murderdactyl first.
Yeah, that's not really a worry when you have 16 hearts, but blue mail.
Red
But
mail.
yes. Red mail. But yeah, that can catch you if you're low health green mail and you kind of forget about that. You wait through the entire cutscene of the use of Quake and then you just die.
Yeah.
It's an
Definitely
unfortunate
Ray's
moment.
race to lose at this point, though. He has a comfortable lead.
Yeah. Like, even if Lechtansi runs straight at Catfish right now, there's still quite a bit of a lead here.
Even if we have a big GT basement routing divergence and Lechtansi gets the big key almost immediately. And hey, it's a Godmire, too. You're not allowed to do Godmire in Go mode. Doesn't anyone know that? Oh, Lechtansi doing Mushroom as an isolated check. I like Ray's routing better on this. Oh no. Is this an Ice Palace play from Lechtansi? This is an Ice Palace play.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, that's game.
Yeah, and like, it's only 4 items. Pyramid is 3 items right there.
Yeah, Pyramid was definitely the play there.
Yeah.
With 3 items, I think that like Pyramid over Ice makes a lot of sense. Ice does unlock the green pennant eventually, but those 3 items are just such a faster check.
I think. Oh, did. Okay, Ray did get spooky. He just forgot to do it. And yeah, having messed up Spooky, the anti-fairies weren't in the right place for him to be able to Spooky in the second room.
That happens. Gets it there, I think, though.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate decision over on Lechtansi's side. There's just really no coming back from that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Lechtansi knows there's nothing on Ped. Oh, what do you know? Butter sword on Diddy. So yeah, this is just for 4 items, and I don't know if Lechtansi feels behind and is trying to do some out there play that Ray is extremely unlikely to do, and this is like a desperation move.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's 7 crystals for Rayzeus, so if you want to guess a GT big key location in chat, now's the time.
My guess is always 8. Do you have a preferred number?
I like 10, but I also specifically like bottom left of Rando Room. Oh, and Lechtansi, did they find all 3 items? Is that why they skipped the big chest?
I'm not sure. I mean, oh yeah. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but that something would have been very wrong. So let's pretend I didn't start that sentence. In the meantime, we have a Cold Stare fight. And we get a key with the green pennant. At the same time, Ray is already entering GT. Nothing in the first 2 chests.
Not even a small key to go right with.
Yeah. I guess it takes your routing options out of consideration.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are Dark Magician devotees here who would just go left first regardless of anything, and last night Bidey and I had a whole discussion about Rando Rush. You don't really see that as a play in the Mentor tournament, though. But Structural Mike swears by it.
So just going straight left all the way to Random Room?
Yeah, and then mirroring and going right.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of different options. 8. That's me.
So much for yours. But Lechtansi now has the big red bomb. He is going to threaten the... They are going to threaten the hobo with it.
That'd be scary. Can you imagine? You found some area, you went swimming, you got out, you like set up your tent, you built a fire, you're like chilling under a bridge and relaxing. Some random guy shows up with a giant bomb.
Oh no, he
sets
just
it
blew it
off
up.
on top of
They
you,
just blew it up.
apparently.
Yeah. Like, Lechtansi blew up the bomb in the hobo's face. What sort of gratitude is that?
Here, give me your item for this. Give me your item, or I'll blow this up, and then blows it up anyway.
Oh, there we go. It was in Rando Room. Just check 12. But yeah, fortunately, this seed has been pretty generous with rupees, so Lechtansi can just buy another bomb. I have seen runners get into the situation where they accidentally lose the bomb and then don't have the money to buy another one. And that just sucks.
Yeah, anytime you need rupees, same thing with things like pod. If you accidentally get hit by something when you're not, you make a wrong move and you lose Kiki, and then you're sitting there going, I don't have enough rupees for this. Always awkward in this game, because anytime you need rupees, there's just no quick way to get them nearby.
But yeah, Lechtansi now needs to continue up to Catfish. Not that it'll save them, like... Ray has too big a lead. Ray has multiple fairies, so we don't even need to worry about deaths on the climb.
No, this would require a ridiculous amount of falls.
Yeah. And Ray has silvers.
Or difficulty with some of these enemies in the last few rooms. But just as we're watching some interesting shenanigans, but I don't foresee us having enough problems that this is, especially not with, is that 16 hearts red mail?
Yeah. 16 for each runner. Ooh, the Medusa kind of hits Ray and disrupts the would-be one cycle on Landmo. Hey, we're finally seeing Graveyard Ledge. It's the 4th bottle!
That is not helpful.
No.
So we are seeing kind of the path we were talking about of like Catfish in the Graveyard Ledge, just in the other direction. Lechtansi turn in the mushroom? Or did we just
Yeah,
skip that?
Lechtansi did that before Pyramid. As kind of an isolated thing.
Oh. I guess with a flute. Okay.
Yeah, just flute to 2, that sort of thing. Hey, and Ray has enough small keys that he didn't need to kill him any Helma. And there's Lechtansi's go mode.
I find that happens a lot, really. Most of the time when I'm climbing GT, I have too many keys.
Oh, and to our tracker, Old Man Haiku, you keep the mushroom mark. Depending on the tracker, some trackers let you mark specifically that the mushroom was turned in. But if there's no way to do that, don't, like, unselect it or anything.
Yeah, that confusion was just on my part. Nothing to do with any sort of tracking or anything else. I just didn't see it turned in.
Also, shout-outs to Old Man Haiku for doing the tracking all through this.
Yeah, the trackers are definitely the heroes of some of these restreams. They have to track so much more than we do while we're talking.
And Ray trying to get rid of his bombs for ease of menuing in the Ganon fight.
You know, I never even really thought of that.
Well, you more often see runners doing it during, like, the climb or in the basement. You don't often see them doing it in the Aga-2 fight. I've also seen runners do it, like, in Phase 3 of Ganon, they'll just dump all their bombs over the ledge.
You know what? That I think I've seen. I'm just trying to think. I'm not sure I've noticed somebody just dropping bombs on Aga's face in Phase 2. It makes a lot of sense. I'm just not sure I've.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it lets them quick swap between, because the bow's the first item. Just to get to the fire rod more easily. Heidi's challenging us in chat.
Oh, it's an NMG thing apparently.
So it's not a quick swap thing. If you have to menu it lets you switch between the fire rod and, well, in NMG you're not using silvers.
Lamp? Versus, actually, I don't know what, so, we're just gonna go with, it's a thing. It's always nerve-wracking for me.
Ooh, Ray just hesitated a moment on that third shot. I think he could have gotten the triple, but GG's to Rayzeus, who will be taking this, and we'll go up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, GG for sure. I always get a little nervous when I see a runner hit Ganon so close to the edge, because I know you have that, like, bounce back, and I know it won't bounce you off the side, but it's always a little nerve-wracking as a runner or a viewer. It's like, please don't get knocked off the edge when you hit it Ganon so close.
And as Bidey has nicely shown us, Rayzeus' official race time is 1:26:45, and looks like Lechtansi is gonna finish this seed out just to see where the big key is and practice on the climb and everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we are joined by our winner, Rayzeus. GG.
GG's.
You made some pretty aggressive skips there.
Which ones would you say?
Well, I mean, I guess Lechtansi did some of them too, but immediately noping out of Hera after one item we were discussing, and also going directly to TR after Swamp without trying the big bomb.
Yeah. So yeah, for Hera, I kind of felt like dipping it and just getting an item. I was worried that the pearl wouldn't be accessible, and so basically I was gonna dip out if I got either the pearl or if I got something that opened up a few locations, and the flute did. So then I just dipped out. Um, and yeah, I felt like TR had just so many checks that it was probably the most dense location to try and get Quake to be able to go into Mire, which didn't pay off. But yeah, I feel like TR very often has progression, so even though it didn't pay off that time, I kind of stand by that play.
Yeah, it
I
did
think
have the most checks
the
in one
TR play
place.
was definitely something that kind of made sense. I think
Mm.
we just saw that both you and Lechtansi made a number of plays where you just kind of skip things.
Mhm.
Just I think to us it was also maybe trying to gain an advantage or leave something for the other runner. And I think in general that just happens in rando. Like you want to make the right gambles. It was just interesting that every time almost one of you skipped something, it just always paid off. All of those isolated checks or those one-offs, they were all just nothing in this
Mhm.
particular race.
And we are also joined by Lechtansi, by the way, since this is under a 10-minute delay. Lechtansi has finished in real time.
Hey
So,
guys,
GG.
thanks.
GG.
Yeah, we were thinking if that bombos from the back of Thieves had been needed for anything, you would have been sitting pretty.
Yeah, I basically like Ray beats me by exactly 10 minutes every time. And so once I found the Quake and on Catfish and like went into Mire, like as soon as I was swords up on Mire, I opened up the race room and like literally 1 minute later he got done. So uh, yeah, if Bombos had been needed, if Ice Palace had been needed, that might have been a closer race, but they weren't, so it wasn't.
Yeah, I figured at that point you were doing ice as a place Ray was unlikely to go. Was that kind of your idea at that point, kind of late
Um,
in the game?
I mean, like it was a coin flip. I either did, uh, you know, great or Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge, um, Graveyard Ledge to Catfish for 4 checks, or I did Ice for 4 checks, and you know that was the play, and it wasn't that was the idea, but it wasn't the play. I mean,
Well,
I
with
probably had lost by that time anyways, right? Because I went into Thieves and I never made up the time.
Yeah, you were always a little bit behind at that point. I mean, you might have been able to make up the time. It would have been interesting to see how it played out if you had gone up to Pyramid and then Catfish directly out of Swamp, and then you could have go moded TR.
Yeah, I would have.
And
That was going to be my plan if I didn't find anything in Swamp, but then I found something in Swamp. I forget what it was. Was it?
it was Ether
Samaria.
and Samaria.
Yeah. So that was the Turtle Rock care package. So if that was it was definitely going to be like out second, coming out of Swamp. I was like, all right, well, if I don't find what I need, next up is Pyramid to Graveyard Ledge to Catfish. But then I found the Turtle Rock care package, and there was no way I was going to do Pyramid Ledge to Catfish over Turtle Rock, right? I'm actually, so my tracker says that I have one item left in Turtle Rock, and I can't figure out what I skipped. The only thing I can think of is when I got hard locked or soft locked in the crystal roller room. Did I like just forget to get that chest? That's the only thing I can think of.
No, that chest was a small key,
no,
so you
you
definitely
got
got
that
it.
chest. I saw that chest was open.
Okay, so yeah, I was,
Eh,
once it was all done, I was like looking at it, and I was like, well, fuck. I really hope whatever I need is not whatever the one chest was in Turtle Rock that I missed.
Oh, by the
By
way,
the way, you
Ray.
can
Oh,
you
sorry. Go
can
ahead,
get
Jeff.
you can get out of that location. You can kick the Samaria block far enough to get you out of that situation.
Yeah,
I don't know how to kick the Samaria blocks.
yeah,
So.
that's the trick though. You won't be
Ah.
able to throw it far enough. You have to kick it, and in that confined a space, it is tough kicking it. I was saying when it happened on stream that like I've seen Relkin do it, and even a runner of Relkin's caliber, it took him several tries.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ray, I was gonna ask, in terms of aggressive skips, you never checked Ped coming out of Skullwoods.
Yeah, so that was a mistake, and
Oh.
yeah, I was planning on doing it, but it just slipped my mind when came time to do it, and that's why I completed Terra when I redept in the hopes of getting Quake before leaving the mountain. Um, I was like, if no overall checks had Quake past that point, I would just like full clear every dungeon on the way and then pull Ped.
Yeah, I figured it was because you hadn't checked Ped, so you wanted to hedge against Quake being
Hmm.
on Ped.
Yeah.
So was there, I mean, aside from like the two major gambles that didn't pay off, 10 minutes is quite a big, lead. Was there anything else noticeable that, really made the difference? Or was it just like execution, like little stuff?
It was a little bit of execution, and then, yeah, clearing ice and doing the back of thieves is several minutes.
Yeah, but I lost by 10, so I was just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, no, I'm just trying to think, like,
I
I
mean, if
think
there
a
wasn't
lot of the
anything,
rest was a lot of the rest was just little bits here and there. Rayzeus also just skipped a few one-off checks here and there that added a little bit of time. Had they been something important, then that might have changed. But I don't think there was anything else like big or one particular decision.
yeah, I mean, literally the only two thing, I mean, I hard lost located catfish. Like literally the only two things that I had left were Spike Cave and uh, you know, green pendant turn in. So that's sometimes you just full clear a
I,
seed and you lose.
I mean, we're about to get your Ganon fight here on stream, so we'll have your collection rate in a moment.
Ah,
yes,
yeah,
so that'll give us some insight.
I mean, I can tell you what my collection rate was.
Oh, what was it?
166.
Oh, so only 5 higher than Ray for all that.
Yeah,
Despite, 4 in the back of thieves and several in ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically all I had left was Ped, Graveyard Ledge, Green Pendant Turn-In, the 3 items in Thieves, and the 3 items in Ice, basically. And I think I got only a single item on Vitreous in Mire, but I guess you probably did the same.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
both go-moding the Godmire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lechtansi, you also blew up the hobo. That cost you a bit of time.
I know. I could not figure out why the bomb would not. I could not figure out why the bomb would not pick back up. So,
that
yeah,
was a bit funny. Just that you swam over there with it and just blew up his entire encampment and walked away.
yeah,
You brought the big bomb?
Yeah.
yeah. So I like checked hobo during, with the big bomb,
Okay.
and I, I guess you don't. Do you have to press A in order to talk to him? You do, right? So pressing A obviously drops the bomb, and I couldn't get it to pick back up no matter what. So I'll just have to practice dropping and picking the bomb. Like I'll just have to practice that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you could go there without losing it, so I just didn't risk it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had it in the bag, so I didn't even bother like thinking that
Yeah.
I could risk it. But
Hmm.
turns out that that was not the case.
Interesting. I probably would have done the same if I had brought it. So yeah, good thing I didn't.
Yeah, you must have done Spike Cave then, so that's like I did what like 6 extra checks minus Spike Cave, and then so that was what 5, and that's why it had 5 more items checked.
Oh,
Uh,
and Ray also did Moldorm. So that was an extra item, even if it was just the compass.
Yeah.
Ah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was trying to mirror out of blind after getting it, but then I realized you can't mirror in that cutscene. You have to save and quit, and I didn't feel like saving and quitting, so because I had already checked Ped by that point, so I knew that it wasn't anything. So I was trying to get out of the whole crystal cutscene, but it didn't work. All right. Well, anything y'all want to talk about?
I think we've covered most of it. Do
I
you
don't
know?
have anything.
Do you know when your second match is and what the mode is?
It's I think we talked about maybe this Friday, so we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I think we mentioned like Thursday and Friday as possibilities for the last two
Okay.
games. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
we'll
we'll figure
take
it
a
out.
look at that.
And then one of you gets to face Rooslugs in the finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. I think I'm just gonna let Ray do that. I'm not gonna throw the race. But given that I have yet to break the 10-minute mark, facing him, like no matter how good I do, it's always exactly 10 minutes slower than Ray. So I think I'm gonna let Ray face off with Rue in the finals. Yeah. I'm gonna do my best, but today was my best, and it's still exactly 10 minutes. So
Yeah, we'll see. Anything can happen in Rando.
yeah.
But yeah, GG's
Yeah.
again.
I was really hoping that the Bombos would save me, but it didn't.
Yeah, that could have been big.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, because Lechtansi had bombos for a long time, and actually, Ray, you never found it.
Hmm.
Right. I mean,
I forget where it
that would have been Lechtansi's big out.
Yeah, I forget where was that. I forgot where that was, but that
Blind
was really
chest.
early.
Oh yeah, it was in
Oh.
Thieves. So it
In
was in
Thieves, yeah.
the back of Thieves. Yeah, I mean there was only one item in the front of Thieves, and I didn't really have any other good options, so I just kept going. But sometimes you lose.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a valid play, and as mentioned, had bombos been important, that could have just won the game for you right there. It just happened that you needed 2 medallions and not that one.
Yeah. And the grand medallion hunt is never fun. It's always in the exact last place that you look. All right.
So it
well,
goes.
anything else y'all want to talk about?
Look forward to seeing your next match.
All right.
All right,
Thank you, and thanks for restreaming.
Yeah. Thanks for restreaming.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, like we said, double header today. We had Roosluck advancing 2-0 earlier today. And we just had Ray and Lech with game 1 here. They will go on to game 2 maybe somewhere around Thursday, Friday. We'll wait to see on that. Huge thank you to our runners today. Our tracker, Old Man Haiku, was his first time. Had a little bit of jitters, but did awesome. And thanks to Drossy returning to the stream and first time on the comms, Zethno. Hope to have them back in the future. I've been going pretty hard at it this weekend. All I've been doing the last 4 days is restreaming. So I'm back to work next week. So I probably won't be touching restreams until maybe next weekend sometime. So I'll put some announcements out there about next weekend. But until then, everyone, have a great day. Take care.